Sitting here at the Ischia Global Film and Music Festival with Josh Hartnett. He's the star of the upcoming Blu-ray release, I Come With the Rain. Thanks for taking the time out to talk to us, Josh.
Absolutely. He came after me specifically, but he had a few different actors in mind in Hollywood. And we all met with him over lunch, I think, and he made his choice. But I had seen his other films, like you have, and I thought, I think that he's an incredible filmmaker. I think that he has a really good sense of light and sound, which, you know, the way that his films feel is unlike any other filmmaker's films. So I just wanted to, I would have worked with him on basically anything. So the script almost didn't matter. He's not particularly, I guess, linear like that. He said that I possessed a quality that he wanted in the character, that he didn't think that the other actors that he met possessed quite the same way. So he chose me, I think, based on instinct. I think, well, he'd originally written it to be a 35-year-old, 35 to 40-year-old guy, and he rewrote it to be younger because of me. I was 27 or 20. I was 28 when we shot it. I think that he saw that if he used me as opposed to using an actor in their late 30s, he was going to get a more naive sort of policeman, you know, someone who is more, I guess, more of a malleable sort of presence, somebody that could be influenced by the killer, the serial killer, in a more profound way, in a sort of father-son sort of way, as opposed to a sort of man of the same age sort of way. I honestly, I don't know what it is that he saw in me exactly, but that's what I take from it. Yeah, I think at that point I was in a dark place emotionally, and I wasn't, you know, I always knew that the material was going to be dark, but I thought that his filmmaking style, his sensibility would kind of leaven it, would lighten it a bit, and it did quite the opposite, actually. I think it made it darker. So I mean, it's an incredibly dark film. You can never tell what a film is going to look, how it's going to turn out when you sign on. But the best I can do is, you know, choose directors I want to work with, and usually I choose by material and director. I just thought that this would be quite an experience. He's kind of experimental, and so, yeah, I mean, it was a good experience for me. I learned a lot. Well, the on-set experience was remarkable in that if there was an idea within the context of the scene that I had or any of the other actors had, he would want to try it. So we were very, he was very open to just improv and you know, blocking, changing an idea that the character might be going through, or you know, kind of thought process the character might be having, and so in that way it was very free. And then the final product was darker than I expected, but it was, yes, it's a tough movie to watch, but the whole experience altogether was very worthwhile for me as a growing actor. You summed it up, I think, really well when you said that there are these different elements, these different types of storytelling, and then that he kind of takes this methodical pace through the whole thing, so it has a kind of a plotting sort of rhythm to it that kind of is unnerving in itself, and then the subject matter is incredibly unnerving. If you see this subject matter in a more kind of prettier package, in a kind of more modern, I don't even know if it's modern, kind of what is more, what's the word? If you see this same subject matter in a film that's striving to be more entertaining, I guess, you would end up in, you might not think it was quite as dark, but you see it in this context and it becomes incredibly irksome, like it almost eats at you as you watch it. It wasn't exactly like that on the page. It was a little bit. He would leave holes in the script where he was going to insert dialogue or insert some scenes.
So it just said that, literally insert dialogue or.
No, he would tell me an idea that he had. Like when I first got to Hong Kong, he gave me a big color book of Francis Bacon paintings, and he was like, "This is what I want Klein to be," you know. And then through that, we just kind of experimented with what it meant to be these Francis Bacon paintings. And so along the way, we would change things. And there's a lot. If you see it in the film, there's a lot of imagery that kind of involves just. It sometimes it's me. It'll be a close-up, and it'll just look like flesh initially. It'll look like some kind of, you know, some. I don't know. It won't look concrete. You won't be able to tell exactly what it is right away. And then you'll pull out and you'll see that it's me sleeping or something like that. And that his way of approaching film is just a lot different. It's not as literal as creating a script, going to shoot it, and then the final product. It just changed massively throughout the filming.